So in this video, we are going to discuss about Jupiter in your 12 houses, how it behaves. Jupiter is considered to be one of the best or the most benefic planets in Vedic astrology. But only in certain houses it can produce a malefic result or in certain conditions. But overall, Jupiter is considered to be one of the best benefics in Vedic astrology. So we'll discuss the effects of Jupiter in your 12 houses. So when Jupiter is placed in the first house, you will observe that such kind of individuals will be well learned in Shastras. They will be religious, as Jupiter aspects the ninth house. It is also mentioned in the Brigo Sutras. Such kind of individual will have a good number of children because Jupiter aspects the fifth house, which is the house of children. Also, such individuals will have a good married life as it aspects the seventh house. So overall, Jupiter in first house is considered to be very favorable placement for Jupiter. Such kind of individuals are blessed by God, especially when it is placed in his own sign, Pisces or Sagittarius. Also in the sign of Cancer, it is exalted. So in that situation, also Jupiter is very favorable in the first house. But if Jupiter is malefically placed in the first house, in an enemy sign or it is debilitated, then in such situations, the person may not have a very long span of life, or he may not be well versed in Shastras and had some troubles in married life and as well as children. So overall, Jupiter, when it is favorably placed in the first house, it gets directional strength as well. And such kind of individuals are blessed by God, although it can produce some negative effects if unfavorably placed or malefically placed. If Jupiter is placed in the second house, you will observe that such kind of individuals will be wealthy and learned. They'll be also wise. Why? Because Jupiter is one of the greatest benefics and it provides very benefic results in second house. And second house is the house of wealth also. So such kind of individuals will be wealthy, and it's also a house of education, indicating that they will be highly educated, especially if it is placed in its own sign, that is Pisces or Sagittarius, or in the sign of exaltation. When Jupiter is placed in the sign of debilation, you might observe that such kind of individuals may have some kind of, it is mentioned in the Brigu Sutras that they might have some kind of illicit relationships with other people, wives, and also they will be immoral in their behavior, and they might like to do some kind of thievery, and they will be less educated. So second house Jupiter, when it is favorably placed, is one of the best placements for Jupiter, as the person will be wealthy and intelligent. But if unfavorably placed, it might lead to immoral character in an individual. So when Jupiter is placed in the third house, all the ancient astrological scholars agree that such kind of individuals are little miser in their nature. That is, they don't like to give donation, or little miserly kind of individual. They don't want to spend any money or here and there. Also, it is mentioned if it is favorably placed, the Jupiter in third house, then the brothers of an entire individual will be long lived, and he might get some favor from their brothers. But if Jupiter is malefically placed in the third house, there might be issue with their brothers, like there might be some quarrels with their brothers and some kind of tension with their brothers. Or if it is malefically placed and the lord of the third house is not very strong, then there might be some situations which might arise, like brothers may not live long, or they might have some diseases kind of things. If Jupiter is placed in the fourth house, you will observe that such kind of individuals will have very good relationships with their mothers. They will also have lot of lands. They might even be a landowner eventually, and they will also own conveyances in the modern term. That means that they will own very good cars in their life. Especially when Jupiter is favorably placed in his own sign with benefics like Venus and Moon in the fourth house, or in the sign of exaltation. Such kind of individuals will also have lot of milk in abundance, will be well learned as well, and wealthy in their lives, and lot of luxuries in their lives. But if Jupiter is malefically placed in the fourth house, such kind of individuals are debilitated. Then there might be some situations where individuals are bereft of their land, or they might have to stay away from their mother, or they might face the loss of mother in their lives early on. So Jupiter in fourth house, bereft of strength, can produce negative results. But if Jupiter is favorably placed in the fourth house in his own sign or sign of exaltation, a lot of benefic results has been mentioned about Jupiter. Jupiter, when it is placed in the fifth house signifies your diplomatic skills, your children. So it mentions that when Jupiter is favorably placed in the fifth house, you will get very good children. In fact, there are chances that you might get wealth or honor due to your children. Also, such kind of people are good orators. They have good conversation skills. They also have good diplomatic kind of abilities. So overall, Jupiter in fifth house is considered a very favorable if it is placed in his favorable signs like Pisces, Sagittarius, etc. And it owns strength. But if the fifth lord is weak and Jupiter is malefically placed, and with malefics like Rahu or Ketu, it is mentioned that such kind of individuals might lose their children due to the curse of the serpent god. So Jupiter has to be favorably placed in the fifth house with benefics, and the fifth lord should be strong to give good results in fifth house. Sixth house is generally considered the house of enemies. It is mentioned when Jupiter is placed in the sixth house, all his enemies will be defeated. So if your Jupiter is placed in the sixth house, be rest assured, especially when it is favorably placed, that your all your enemies will be eventually destroyed. But if Jupiter is like malefically placed in the sixth house, there is mention that such kind of individuals might suffer various kinds of diseases in his life, especially if Jupiter is placed with malefics or in the sign of Saturn. It is mentioned then such kind of individuals might have to face like worst kind of diseases in his life. So Jupiter in sixth house produces mixed results. Although there will be defeat of enemies, that you will win over your enemies, but at the same time there might be some issues due to diseases in your life. Jupiter in seventh house is considered one of the best placements to get an chaste, learned, and beautiful life partner. So if you have Jupiter in seventh house, be rest assured, if it is placed in the favorable signs with benefic associations in good signs, like Pisces or Sagittarius, or in his sign of exaltation, be rest assured that your life partner is very good in nature and you are blessed in your married life. So married life of such kind of individuals is blessed when Jupiter is favorably placed in the seventh house. Also, he will have a good number of children in his life, and there will be a lot of luxuries and wealth associated with Jupiter in his life. Also, for Jupiter seventh house, it is mentioned the wife will also be learned, devoted, and chaste, or the husband will be learned, devoted, and chaste. And along with that, when he will marry, he will also get a lot of wealth in his life due to the blessing of his life partner. And also, he will be attached to his own wife, so that means he will not cheat on his life partner. So, such kind of individuals don't cheat on their life partners, and they are blessed overall in their married life. But if Jupiter is malefically placed in the seventh house, that is without strength and in malefic signs, and the seventh lord of seventh means like the Rashi which belongs to the seventh house, to which Rashi that planet belongs. So that is the lord of the seventh house. So if the lord of the seventh house is weak, along with Jupiter being malefically placed in the seventh house, then such kind of individual will have illicit kind of relationships with woman other than his wife. If Jupiter is placed in malefic signs in the eighth house, such kind of individuals may not live very long, and if the eighth lord is also very weak, there might be some chances of accidents or some kind of mishaps, or may not be very long life he might have. But on the other hand, if Jupiter is favorably placed in the eighth house in his own sign, you will observe that such kind of individuals are saintly people. They are learned in Shastras, well versed, and they have a long life. So such kind of individuals are blessed kind of individuals with learned in Shastras and good life, and they're also good looking. So Jupiter, when it is placed in the ninth house, such kind of individuals are blessed individuals in one sense that they are very religious kind of individuals. They're also charitable. They also like to give a lot of charities to people, and they are very religiously inclined. Along with that, their father may be long lived as well. So such kind of individuals are blessed in that sense. But if Jupiter is malefically placed in the ninth house, with ninth house lord being weak, then there might be some issues with the father of an individual. But overall, Jupiter in ninth house is considered to be a very favorable placement for Jupiter. Jupiter, when it is placed in the 10th house, such kind of individuals are very wealthy, it is mentioned, especially when it is placed in the favorable signs and the 10th lord is strong. So such a kind of individuals will earn a lot of wealth and they will become rich. Also, Jupiter in 10th house will give a lot of good career opportunities for an individual. Also, it is mentioned that such kind of individuals will be charitable and religious minded, and overall they will have a good personality. So Jupiter in 10th house is very favorable. But if Jupiter is malefically placed in the 10th house, or the 10th house lord is not very strong, then in such situations there might be obstacles in the professional life of an individual. So if Jupiter is debilitated or in malefic signs and the 10th house lord is also not strong, so there might be some obstacles in the professional career of an individual. But overall, Jupiter in 10th house is considered very favorable for from a career perspective and from wealth perspective. So such kind of individuals will be wealthy and good in their careers. Jupiter, when it is placed in the 11th house, such kind of individuals will be lot of wealthy, and they will own, it is mentioned that they might own conveyances in their life. And overall, Jupiter in 11th house is considered to be a very good placement for Jupiter, especially when it is placed in the good signs. Such kind of individuals will be learned, wealthy, and rich. In fact, in Brigu Sutras, it is mentioned that if Jupiter is placed with malefics in 11th house, then also there will be a lot of financial gains. And if Jupiter is placed with Moon in the 11th house, then there will be effortless financial gains. So, as far as wealth is concerned, if Jupiter is placed in the 11th house, be rest assured that you will eventually earn a lot of wealth in your life. So, Jupiter in 11th house is considered to be very good placement for Jupiter, especially when it is placed with Moon and in benefic signs. So consider that to be a very good placement. Such kind of individuals will also have a good reputation among the masses. Jupiter, although a very favorable planet, Jupiter is not considered very auspicious in the 12th house. So one of the bad placements for Jupiter is when Jupiter is placed in the 12th house. If it is placed in his own sign, then there might be some benefits, but overall, Jupiter in 12th house is not considered very favorable. Such kind of individuals, even if they earn wealth, they might spend here and there, they might incur loss. And even if they donate, they might not get praise for it. They might be little bitter and in speech and little lazy in their behavior. And it also mentions that such kind of individuals may have illicit kind of relationships with Brahmin and pregnant woman. So Jupiter in 12th house is not considered very auspicious for an individual. If Jupiter is placed in the benefic sign along with benefics or in good signs, such kind of individuals will go to heaven after their death. But if Jupiter is placed with malefics and in malefic sign, then he might go to hell after his death. So Jupiter in 12th house with benefic signs give little bit good results, but malefic signs it will give a lot of bad results. Is also mentioned such kind of individuals might have affair with Brahmin and pregnant woman. So Jupiter in 12th house person have to be very careful in their life not to do a lot of sins in their life and be very careful with their behavior. Thank you so much.